Hey guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. Today we're back over on the free to play account. I want to break down a couple things, including going through and doing the dailies. Just an update of kind of where we're going with this account, the direction we're doing. So I've been farming again back into the towers. We made some pretty decent progression in there. And you'll also notice that we pushed through almost all of chapter 35 at this point. Kind of over leveling a little bit for going through here, but honestly, it makes it a lot easier when you don't have the heroes. Want to absolutely do some summons in here. We're trying to build out a couple more heroes, and we might have to go ahead and switch to using our diamonds in a couple different places. Even looking at all the tower formations, we've already passed through 280, so we're making a lot more progression. Almost up to 400, level 400 in some of these. Again, we're starting and we're kind of still in the power creep where when we gain a level or two, we can usually go 2, 3, maybe 4 stages within either the necropolis or the world tree, but that's really all of the progression we can make. Celestial Sanctum, we just need really one more hero or just really a couple more copies of a few heroes again to get that power level really up a little bit, so we're not completely locked out. And you can see we're starting to get some of these heroes up to legendary. Even looking at Liberta, we finally got Liberta up to the E60. We need one more piece of furniture, which we might be able to get today. And then, of course, we're starting to build a lot more heroes out. I mean, right now we're close to getting 20 ascended heroes. I know we do have our dimensionals in there. And honestly, probably one of the biggest misses, if you are a free-to-play player, that I absolutely 100% recommend is coming in here and getting Shuna. Now, this is actually a hero that we didn't go in here. I did Merc. We are seeing her in formations everywhere. We are seeing really the impact of having this hero and having this hero a little bit earlier does make a big difference. So I want to go in here and see, and we're going to have to kind of check exactly where we're going to be after the summons, after everything else, but to get a copy of Shuna. And honestly, when it looks at Rem, and Rem we have for another 34 days, 3 more times and we will have Rem forever, which means we can swap with a lot of those resources over to getting Shuna. But again, I feel like this was a really, really big miss. A lot of formations that we're seeing are running Envy with Shuna in the formation, and it's working incredibly well in a couple different places. So I'm hoping again that we can go through, we can do some of these summons and make a little bit more progression overall with everything we have going on. So Twisted Realm, we've been farming it up, even looking within the Temple Rift itself. We're still at level, and I think I hit the one right below it. But we are still within the Temple Rift at level 160 or floor 160, making a lot of progression in here. And again, it's just kind of a very slow build, kind of a very slow grind in here, but going through here and again, getting to the point of unlocking everything else we have down here. I'm completing floor 200. We're saving all the resources. Once we do push up to 200, we can get, of course, those Stargazer scrolls. We can also get those time emblems, building this out in the entirety. And we're also focusing on baits through all of the events. Even the current events that we have going on right now, we're getting and really building up and focusing on those baits in the entirety. We're going to continue doing that till we're kind of completely done. Arcane Labyrinth, we finally got a team in here, which is awesome. We've been sweeping this on a regular basis. It's awesome just to go in here and finish this in the entirety. Doesn't spend the time, doesn't spend a lot of really the RNG factor in there to go through doing all of these dailies. Now, rank 22. So one of the things, again, that I do feel like we kind of overlooked is we're getting to the point where even within the treasure scramble, we're into 5 teams. And I don't have 5 teams of ascended heroes. So we're getting kind of some of the backseat heroes here. A couple more resources out of there. But as you can see, we're starting to get in a lot of the legendary heroes, a lot of the mythic heroes. We don't have enough to really outfit 5 full teams. So we kind of subbed in whoever we had, and even looking here, getting to 6 teams or even going to 7 teams. We don't have enough heroes in here to really outfit these. It's literally going to be using elite heroes in those formations because we do not have anyone else in the entirety. Now, the Abyssal Expedition, it is completed. I think we're going to get a couple diamonds in there, which we do. Big shout out to No Mercy, scoring #1 in the Abyssal Expedition. Very, very cool. So let's hop in here. Want to make sure we buy out the store first. Then we'll do all of our summons, use our stones, use everything that we have, trying to make a little bit more progression as we're continuing. We're already up to 308. So level-wise, we're doing incredibly well in here. Let's pop open some of these chests. Now, of course, we almost got the weekly as well, which means that we're continuing to focus and continuing to build with the wish leaves on the beasts that we have. But you can notice in here time emblems as well as Stargazer scrolls and also those draconic insignias. We've been farming a lot of the tower, giving both of those. And then, of course, the insignias came out of a couple different game modes. So let's pop these open, guys. We have 2 elite stones in here, and it's a double food for Vita, and I will take it. Now, in here, we did get another copy of an elite hero, so maybe we'll pull one more, which we do not. Get a copy of Boulard. Used to be pretty effective in a couple different game modes, but I think I also seen Villanelle in there and Crescio, 2 heroes again that we are building. 16 stones in here. We only have 15 available. Let's go ahead and pop these anyways, and then we'll get into the summons. Hopefully we can get a little bit more food in there, and that gives us that Elite Plus copy of Viden. And it also adds a copy on both of these. Now, I'm going to have to refer back to, and I've done this for quite a while, guys, where we're looking at our wish list and looking at these specific heroes, because we know Crescio, we're going to take Crescio up to 3 stars. So we are going to build up Crescio a little bit farther, and then Villanelle is only going to 1. So that means at this point, getting Villanelle up to the 1 star means that we are done in the entirety. This means Villanelle is actually going to get dropped out of the list itself. So I'm going to make sure that I do that right now before we hop in, before we do the summons. So Villanelle is out, and that is actually going to put in Kren. Now, if you're unfamiliar when it comes to the tower formations, Kren does incredibly well, guys. He's probably one of the crowd control, versatility, a significant amount of damage in a bunch of different places. I'm hoping we can pull some food out of here, as if we can get a couple more pieces of food. I'm getting Naruko built up a little bit further, but also looking at Vika. Now, we also made the decision, if you guys remember a little while ago, we're going in and we're using all of the extra copies just of the random food heroes we got. So we want to continue doing that in the entirety. And of course, we didn't get any luck within the poll. 4 more scrolls though, and we'll use them. A lot of the heroes that we're seeing already though within the factions are already kind of built up, and the ones that we really want to focus on, and that's why, again, I said when we go to the Stargazer, we're actually going to hop in there. I want to use the diamonds and the Stargazer just to make a little bit more progression. There's a copy of Ivan. Ivan, of course, we are taking to 5 stars, and I'm wondering if that is the last one. No, we might need one more, guys, and that will be the first and the very first 5-star hero on this account, which would be awesome, because Ivan, again, is one that we know we are taking to 5 stars. And then again, we're building out Lady Simona. We still have a bunch of other builds in there. Now in here, we could also use diamonds for this. And I'm almost thinking maybe we'll do this for Garok. I think I'm going to. Because 3, 6, 9, we could guarantee at least one more copy. We don't have a Wilder to build, and I do want to build him. Same with Talmar. That's another one that I do want to build. Again, the effectiveness of this hero, getting the signature item, getting the furniture. There is a copy. We need, I believe, one more. Could we do it in here? And we do. The desired hero summons come through, guys. That is 2 copies that we get of this hero. Very cool to see. Now, Stargazer, of course, we have 36. We are building out Envy. We need, and I believe last time we got double copies of Envy. We need one. We need 1 single copy of Envy in here, guys. That would be just absolutely epic. And I'm going to go ahead and here, I'm going to do the 10 summons. First pull, we get him. Look at that. Let's go, guys. That is the copy of Envy that we are looking for. That does max him out or build him out with the 1 star that we've been looking for. And of course, that builds out the little bug as well. A lot of progression to be made on the free-to-play account today, because there is, again, the first Awakened hero that we do have up to 1 star. Now, of course, we've been looking at building out the Awakened version of Shamira. So Envy, at this point, like I said, as a free-to-play account, I am only taking them and really only moving them to 1 stars. So once Envy is at 1 stars, which we see right here, that is as far as we're going to build them. The exact same with Liberta, only taking Liberta to 1 star. Now we're going to continue building out Aurelia so we can actually swap this one out, getting some more resource out of there, but this is going to put Aurelia back in here. As much as I like Celine, utility-wise, not 100% sure exactly where or when she's going to be used, but we know Aurelia does see a lot of different gameplay, so maybe we can get lucky with a couple cards or maybe 1 or 2 copies in there. I'll even go ahead, I'll drop a couple diamonds in there, and there we go, guys. Another copy of Aurelia, and we got her gear. So right there is a piece of gear we can absolutely use on her. Very cool. Also got a Wilder card. Now again, Temple of Time. We do have Shamira in here. We have 27 summons, Want to burn through all these and maybe we'll pick up another copy. A lot more resources in there, but it looks like no copy in there. And unfortunately, I do not think we've seen any of the diamonds. But maybe, just maybe, we can pick up one of these copies for Shamira. Come on, with all of these cards, there's a Mauler card right there. Got a couple more gold. Boom, another little resource. And unfortunately, nothing for Shamira. Again, we used all those resources there. We got a lot more summons, which is good. We can go ahead, boom, get a couple more levels in there. I feel like with the resources we can pop open in here, going to give us enough for one more level at 57 million EXP right there. 3 Mauler cards, which gives us Titus. So we do get an unlock in there. And I thought I saw an Honesta or maybe double copies. Yeah, double copies in there. Wilders, could we see the little bug? Nope, but we get another copy of Misha. Misha, again, is another one. We are taking Misha up to 5 stars. I'm not sure if that is enough to actually add us and throw in another copy, but we got a lot more food. So let's bust through these heroes and see who we can build up a little bit further. There's Lorison, and that is Misha. So no, Misha takes the cake, guys, right there. So we got Ivan up to 4 stars down here, but our first 5 stars, so we'll always remember this, is going to be Misha. Now we do have the engraving on there, but that maxes her out in the entirety. Little Garok is going up to that legendary plus. Now we need food. We have 1, 2. Nope, we're gonna have to save to get some more food in here for the Wilders in the entirety. Got to make sure again that we have double copies of these Elite Plus food. I think it was the exact same for the Mauler. No, we got double in here. So actually, I'm gonna use, and I know Warwick sees a little bit of play. The original version of Entendre, that's a tough one. Let's do a Verk. Let's do an Inoki. Let's go for these 2. Now, of course, just based on the build, we're using, and honestly, we're using Gorin way more, which I'm wondering if we have a couple in here, because I have Gorin right there. I think we still need 2 copies of Gorin to be able to build them up. But Naruko, we do have copies of. So I feel like, you know what, I'm going to go in here. I'm going to build up Naruko. Just because, again, we already do have those copies that are sitting there. I'm going to need a little bit more food in here to build it up. But again, that's just going to be a little bit more timing in there. And then we do have double copies here. Again, we have Adrian Elise. We used, I think, Belinda. Let's do Belinda and Falks. Go ahead and use both of these. And I believe this will bring up, was it Rosaline? I thought, no, Rosaline we have built. We already have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with Elvita. And again, thinking of our Wilders, we're taking Palmer up to 3 stars, which he doesn't have any. And then 1, 1, 1, and then Adrian Elise. So again, we're going to have to kind of wait for a little bit of this food. We have Rowan in here. And I believe Rowan is also the one that we're going to be building up next. So we are going to focus on Rowan a little bit. And then within the Greyborn, we are still building out right here with Braun. Again, we have 1, 2. Yeah, we have 4 in here, guys. I'm gonna go ahead now. Lady Simona, we know we want to build 2. Torn, we're probably not going to use. Even if we grabbed a little bit of food and we use like a Shamira and a Torn. And again, these are heroes, you know, once we do get so far down the rabbit hole with all these heroes, we can definitely rebuild them again, put them in the wish list, whatever we need to actually build them up. But that takes them to Mythic Plus. Now I know as well with Braun is we do have a couple more copies that we need, and then Lady Simona is going to be the exact same. Even in here, we have Hodgkin, we have Edwin. Yeah, I might just use Edwin. I might just grab here. Yeah, let's go ahead. And I'm thinking right here, let's use these copies of Edwin. Again, these are heroes that we're going to build later on. Just going to take a little bit of time to build up everything. Once we start maxing these out, then of course, extra copies of certain heroes are just going to go back into recycling like we've seen. And we'll continue building these out in the entirety. Yeah, and we have quite a few, guys. Even looking here, could we get the 3rd copy of Leviathan? Could we do it? All right, let's collect up our resource. Now we have 4 summons in here. That is going to give us the card. That is going to finish out Liberta, but we don't have to. First pull gives us the 9 of 9 furniture. So Liberta is officially complete. So we are going to drop out Liberta. Again, Liberta is completely finished at this point. So even thinking now, I'm going to drop Shuna in here. So I know we're going to use some resources. We're going to save this up. We are going to build up Shuna, and that is going to be the next one that we're going to be looking at for furniture. And of course, Shahan, I actually reset to move Rem in there. But Shahan is another one we are going to go ahead and get together. We need a lot more furniture, even looking here. A couple more elite pieces would be awesome in here. A couple more mythic pieces would be absolutely awesome. Plus, we got the one card. Now, of course, here we go. We got Alvita. We got one card, which brings us to, again, she is at the 8 of 9. But these are going to go for Envy. Again, thinking of the Awakened Hero being able to actually maximize and you have utility within this hero. We need the engraving. We need the furniture. We need everything that he is bringing. So we'll go ahead. We'll add one more piece in there. Recycle what we're not using. There's another 400 coins back, which is good. So we're starting to get a lot more furniture in there, guys. That is 38 pieces already. I think that's about going to break out the daily. We're starting to get all of these magic tickets, but now we are picking up the treasure crystals as well. Weeklies, again, I think this might be done. 150 of 150. We got it. So there's another 8 summons, another 500 diamonds. Again, kind of stacking that up. Dragon Isle, no scrolls in here, but we did get 21 of these. Can we get Leviathan? This is going to be the focus. And we do just a single, but that's okay, guys, because that will take a lot Leviathan from Legendary up to Legendary Plus. We are trying to get him up to Mythic in a back-to-back copy. Oh, look at the animation right there. That is absolutely epic. So there is another copy of Leviathan. So 20 cards, 2 copies of Leviathan. That is awesome. That is absolutely epic with the polls on there, guys. That just brings us that many copies closer. What do we got? Yeah, we don't want to use Goron as food. I was just seeing what we had in there. So there we go. Also got that first copy of Hilduin over on the side. There is our Legendary plus Leviathan. Again, going to have to build them up a little bit further. Still working on building out and getting this Resonating Crystal done. But we have a lot more to build in here, focusing on taking all of these to 25. That is the primary that we're looking for right now. And Field of Stars, what do we pick up? Something tier 2 variety chest, and I'm not going to use diamonds in here because I said before, guys, I don't want to burn through. I don't want to use all of my diamonds. But Dragon Isle was absolutely just epic on the polls right there, guys. That was awesome to see. Gives us another one. We're going to go ahead and get some more EXP just like we have been. Got 74K when it comes to the essence. Again, still running and needing some of the EXP that we have in here. But that should take us well over the next level. 309, just like that. We'll farm it up a little bit further. And we're starting to make some solid progression with everything we have here. And of course, with the events. I love the events in here. Pick up a couple more red chests. And here again, we're going for baits. We talked about baits quite a bit. I'm going to do baits until it's done. As we have a long road with baits. But again, we're going to go ahead and build it out. So we get some more scrolls right in there. Going to get some free gear as well as building these out in the entirety. Trade post gives us a couple more stones. Let's see what we have here for our summons. Now, the Beast Grounds, like we said before, we're taking this and really carrying this all the way to building these out. Now, the exchange, of course, we have another, I think, week, which we do have another week. So we'll go in here. We'll continue the summons. Now, we're keeping this, again, like we've kind of talked before with the trick. The seal is staying in there. We are taking the Ice Crown to 6. We're taking the Owl to 6. And I think we only need 1 copy of the Owl, which that might be it. That might be the 1 copy that we're looking for of our boom level 6 Owl. Now, Beast Resonance is up, but of course, we are not doing the Beast Resonance, guys. We are not at all. We're going to drop out the Owl, and this is actually going to put in our Mr. Fluffy Ears right here, which love the build, love the portrait and it's funny to see the baby version when you look at the big fluffy ears, because I believe that's the Fox Fatale, the very baby version of the Fox Fatale. But yeah, we're going to go ahead. We're going to put the Fox Fatale in here. Again, we're going to take the Fox to 6. Also going to take the Ice Crown up to 6. Reason being, when we reset this, we will actually have the seal built up in the entirety. Let me see if we can get a couple more, maybe 1 more out of here. And then, of course, we're going to do some summons. The Nightfall Pegasus actually works incredibly well at a very basic level. Going in here, picking up some of the wishes, but picking up resources, picking up loot, picking up everything else, including red chests. We're going to build this little by little by little, just like we normally do. Again, Beast Resonance, we are not doing at all. We're going to wait until I complete this list. I'm building them up to level 6. And again, we have now a lot of beasts at level 6, which again is by design exactly how we want to have it. The red crystal for the beast resonance is going to drive me absolutely insane, however, because I'm sure it's going to sit there the whole entire time till we actually get to use it. So Magician's Hat, Circus Tour, make sure you're finishing that in its entirety. Then, of course, we have the new event that is up, which yields us some scrolls. I love in here because, again, it is kind of, see, one scroll right there. We'll pop our target in here. But we do get loot every 100 of these pursuit. These treasures, we get some red chests in there. We get some poke coins, got some Stargazer scrolls. So going in there and making sure that you finish that out. Same with the Bountiful Trials in the Misty Valley. I'm going to have to finish all of those out. And hopefully we can get some more copies of the bug as we continue to build it out. I need another slot. We were talking about this earlier. When it comes to the Resonating Crystal, I do not have anywhere to put any more heroes. And honestly, I might drop like a Wukong out of there just because I think we're using him for a different formation. But absolutely, now the focus is building out Envy with the engraving. I know we got a couple more engraving loot or pieces in here. Yeah, 600 that we already have our shards. Boom, right there, up to level 4, added some more HP. Again, shards we're buying out of the store every single day. This will never stop, will never change. Guild store, this is another one where, boom, we just bought those insignias, which did yield us the copy of Leviathan. The Labyrinth store, we're doing the exact same. I was waiting for the reset. 30, this gives us 45 pieces. So we almost do have Robin Hood built in the entirety. Challenger store, we are only looking for Alna in the entirety. Again, that's going to take a while to build out overall. So I feel like we could make a lot more progression in the campaign right now. And of course, this is good because at this point within the campaign progression, when we're pushing campaign progression, we actually have the ability to get more out of the Misty Valley and a couple other game modes. And I believe I was just farming my friendly maulers. You can see that we have all of our gear based on our maulers. That is the tower that I was farming last. We also did farm out the Celestial Sanctum a little bit. So again, looking at where we are, combat rating doing incredibly well. Need a couple more copies, but built up a few more heroes. Definitely, and again, Liberta is built out, guys. We even have the gear in here, the tier 3 and the tier 4 gear for Liberta. The plus 30 signature item. We have the furniture. We have the engraving. Very, very cool to see. And again, we're going to have to build out some of these in the entirety when we continue, and then getting that copy of Shuna is going to be imperative. All right, guys, so that's going to do it for today's video. Let me know in the comments what you guys think, and as always, thank you guys for watching.